Hello, students. This is Professor Bonaparte, Professor in Finance at U Denver, Director for Masters in FinTech, Director for External Affairs. My job to meet people in the community. Today, we're going to talk about ESG. ESG is part of I wrote articles and a book about it, published article and book. This is an important topic, important asset class. The book is the ESG Investing and Trading, Myth versus Fact. Do really the ETF and ESG or really reflect ESG or not? So that's a book about. And I wrote it because Kofi Annan, seventh United Nations General Secretary General for United Nations, and he said, "Who cares wins?" When I read that, inspires me to write a book. He said, "I propose that you, the business leaders, and we, the United Nations, initiate a global compact of shared values and principles, which will give a human face to the global market." Kofi Annan, UN Secretary General, this time, who cares wins? Beautiful. So who cares wins? The Global Impact event was in 2004, connecting financial market to a changing world by the United Nations and Swiss Federal Department of Foreign Affairs. So section 1 in my book, ESG from the genesis to the challenges, future, and ESG genesis. Usually when I do writing books, the first chapter is about history, from where came the whole idea. By the way, all my books are to make people better, to improve humanity. I focus on topic, but the whole goal is to improve humanity. Chapter 1, what is that? ESG, history of motivation, United Nations, Kofi Annan, principles, and the signature appendix. So if you want to join this initiative, you can sign and be there. What is ESG? ESG is a set of criteria that investors use to evaluate and assess how a company environmental, social, and governance performance. ESG has a principle for responsibility and social responsible. And if you look at this figure, components, you can see like governance, you have a relationship, innovation, transparency. So they have innovation. It's not like only social, human rights, labor, immigration, worker. I mean, this is a great thing. Well, Yosef, the market has power. Rich people have power, so the workers has to have unions, and that's fine. Rich people should have a union also. I'm fine with that. Environmental best management for practices. If you put some constraint to companies, you maybe hurt their profit, but you make them innovative also. So good to have environmental, in my opinion. That's ESG motivation driven by rising interest in sustainable investing. Changing the focus on company and the purpose of corporate. What is that the purpose of corporate? So when we change the purpose of corporate, why we have NVIDIA? Why NVIDIA is there? Why Microsoft? Why not the government take Microsoft and run it? So there is a purpose for corporate different than government. So the business roundtable, a group of chief executive CEOs, nearly 200 major U.S. corporation initiated in 1972. The business roundtable released a statement with the new description of purpose of corporation and issued that shareholder value is no longer their main objective. So this is the earthquake. So what happened in 2020? They changed it from the 1972 release statement with a new, that should be 21 here. So shareholder value is no longer. So what does that mean, students? This is a big deal. Before, corporation role of corporation is to maximize the profit. Higher workers, make the quality low, higher quality, lower quality, higher price, low price. What matters is to maximize the profit for shareholders. Now it changed. That's a breakthrough. That's a change. That's a big deal. That's earthquake. I don't know how to explain it more. So the new envision idea of corporation cut the age-old notion that the first and foremost is serve their shareholder and maximize. All right, so history of ESG. ESG, I mean, hard to say. There is uh, below 1800, maybe there's something below 1800, but at 1800, social responsible investing started. And then if you look to each century, where it starts from 1970s, 1990s, 2000s, and then and on. You can see here, for example, 2000 regulation adoption, EU action plan, and on sustainable finance. Now, Europe ahead of us, by the way, ahead of us, United States. Here you can see the dates. I put that in line time. And here, history of ESG ETF, because eventually the market package ESG and ETF. If you have an innovative idea different than ETF, let us know, and that would be a great company to have. And here are this history of ETF. I mean, most of the ESG products are ETFs, bonds, or something. Now look here, Europe, 81% of the market are European, actually, the owner of the ETFs. US only 13 and others 6. The US, unfortunately, because the political division, and that's unfortunate. Why? ESG is an asset class. You like it, you buy it. You don't like it, don't buy it. Cryptocurrency, the same asset class. You like it, buy it. But for whatever reason here, it divided into politics. And that's it. So ESG have a different products. They have equities, like ETF, bond, mixed assets, ETF and bond, and others. ESG by generation, the millennials are more interested in this type of asset class. Gen generation, which most of you are, also interested in this a lot. Baby boomers and my generation X are not. I like ESG, but I don't. I don't know opinion. Nobody has opinion in this country. So recent ESG development, the key development actually Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan took it to the next level. This is the diversity Secretary General person. He changed, diversified the role of the United Nations, changed the perspective and the role of this, and that I like it. Kofi Annan vision. The Paris Agreement came in 2015 and Davos 2020, and from then picked up the ESG. So Annan has a visit to Wall Street. He came to the floor and he talked with them. Kofi Annan, there exists need for equity management in a global market to be successful with ESG principle and policies suggest that equity management is lacking in many countries worldwide. Annan established United Nations Global Compact in 2000. Kofi Annan vision. Annan continues to promote his initiative, and 2000 Annan led a global compact initiative to inspire and incorporate environmental, social, and government. The Paris Agreement came, and President Trump signed on it. It was in French, and then Donald Trump walked away. 2015, Trump was the president. Trump take it on. He's not interested. And I don't know if Biden came back or not. I don't know. And then Davos 2020 came. Fortunately, America was not part of that. But this is the Davos important event, was for ESG. And we still have, this is continued the Davos fast tracking the ESG transformative via formation of assets, standardized evaluation of 22 specific metrics, the develop the product or the vision. And here are the 6 principles that principle for responsible investing. We will incorporate ESG issue into investment. We will be active owners and incorporate ESG. We will seek appropriate disclosure. We will promote an acceptance and implementation of the principle within the investment industry. We will work together to enhance our effectiveness and implement in principle. We will each report on our activities. So it's a commitment if you want to join the PRI. Here is a statement, signature statement. People can sign it if you're interested. You can read it. BlackRock, which is the biggest investment company, the COO and founder sign it. So here are in depth each principle. We will incorporate ESG issue into investment analysis. like address ESG issue, investment policy and statement, assess the capability of external investment manager to incorporate. Now, I have to say something here. ESG, baby boomers is still owning most of the money and corporation. But they're in a retirement, going to retirement. A lot of them retired already. So they're going to pass it to the next generation. And the next generation care about that stuff. So I think ESG can grow fast in the future, but you need to be innovative. So that's the reason I have in our class, we have a discussion about ESG innovation. We cannot stay the same way like Kofi Annan in 2004. How to be innovative in the product, as of now, only ETF. So we can improve the ETF, make it more attractive to millennial generation and Z generation to have a different product, ESG product. Principle two, we will be active owners and incorporate ESG issues into ownership policies and practices. Principle three, we will seek appropriate disclosure in ESG issues by the entities of which invest. And then four, we will promote an acceptance and implement of the principle within the industry. Like, for example, revisit the relationship between the service providers that fail to meet ESG expectations. Five, we will work together to enhance effectiveness implementing the principle, like develop and support appropriate collaboration. Now, before, I mean, some companies do an ESG director, just do reporting of the ESG activity in the company. And six, we will each report in activities and progress towards. So every country and company try to report how we do our ESG so we can learn, share the innovative ideas. Your homework is what is that ESG? What are the key development? What are the core implementation ESG? And who cares wins? What does this initiative argue? And what are your thoughts? So how do you feel about this? Who cares? When I really care about this question. What's the role did United Kofi Annan did? This six principle and those. So this is your homework. The rest of this, I'm going to talk about the certificate in ESG. So I used to, in this class, BUSN 6620, I used to offer students to do certificate for free, but we're no longer with the Bloomberg, we're no longer doing business with them. But that being said, I still want to teach you. If you want to do it by yourself, it will cost you certificate with the Bloomberg by on your own, maybe $150. But with inflation, I don't know how they change it. Chapter 2 is ESG, the future, ESG and political division, oil and gas companies' view about ESG, ESG, the in religion perspective, and greenwashing. But I'm not going to go chapter 2. I'm going to go straight to the, if you buy my book, you're going to see this, and you're going to see how to invest in ESG and how to trade ESG. So the book will give you that. ESG certificate, I used to offer that part of the class, but no longer. If you want to hear more about it, here. There are two certificates, one with the CFA, one with the Bloomberg. With the Bloomberg, I did it, but I'll explain each of them here so you can see my certificate, Bloomberg certificate. CFA institution, their certificate is this kind of questions, 4 to 8 for introduction to ESG, which is analysis, action, and management. Here are the 9 sections. Environmental factors, social factor, ESG analysis, valuation, integration. I like that. Engagement and the stewardship, ESG, integrated portfolio, like 3%, 5%, investment mandate. But in Bloomberg, it's different. Introduction to ESG, sustainable. Some videos, you watch the videos and you answer it. If you didn't pass it, that's fine. You give it a second chance, third chance if you pass it. Research and adoption, ESG, negative screening, positive screening, ESG integration, fixed income bonds, ESG integration in equity, like stocks and ETF, corporate governance and shareholder activism. So if you compare those, which one you should take? CFA Institute certificate more for academics like me, prestigious around the world, but Bloomberg more for practitioners. That's the reason I like it, because I do consulting. Useful for those who have access to Bloomberg terminal. So again, your homework is just to answer this question. And I want to inspire you and read more about Kofi Annan vision. And if you want to need more about ESG, it's right, facts or math and how to invest, read my book and that will help you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.